there and welcome back to my channel. My name's Jodie if you haven't been here before. So today I have had a few minutes this morning to get a little bit done in the garden, and I started by clearing up the weed mess that was left behind from my last video from where we weeded a garden bed. So that's all cleaned up now, and I also dug out the root balls of those salvias that we cut back, because I have decided that I definitely don't want them there. So they have been dug up and I will move them on. So the baby's still asleep and I'm trying to figure out what I can get done for the rest of his nap. So I'm trying to figure out if I plant some of the plants that I still got left from our nursery visit a few weeks back, or if I just keep tidying up. Probably be fun to get some of those plants into the ground, plus they really need to be planted because they've been sitting in those little nursery pots for quite a while. So let's have a look at what we've got and see if we can figure out where any of them might be good to put. So this is a collection of plants here. You can see they're all in these little nursery pots. So I need to probably go back through my notes and figure out which ones are good sizes and where I can put them. I know this one, the little grevillea, is probably one that I can put down the front somewhere, because I don't think it gets very big. So let's look these up and figure out a plan. Okay, so I've had a bit of a look at all these plants and I figured out which ones I think I'm going to plant today. I've put aside a heap of them that I think might be useful down in the front garden bed that we've been working on down on our verge. So I'll talk to my husband about those and see which ones he wants to use, and then we'll just get these other ones planted. So what I've got here is I've got 4 purple pea bushes, and they get to about 1 to 2 meters tall, and they get really pretty little purple flowers. I've also got 2 grevilleas. They get about 1.5 meters tall, same width, and they got these little flowers. There we go. How sweet are those little flowers? I know that grevilleas actually grow pretty well here. And then the last thing I've got I'm going to plant today is these. Now they're, I think, called Prostanthera ovaliifolia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but they are a bush that has a bit of a minty smell, which is interesting. And they get somewhere between 1 and 5 meters tall and 1 and 5 meters wide. So depending on whether they like their spot, they can get massive. They are also a really good indicator plant for how wet your soil is. So they will be the first thing to wilt. So if you see them wilting, you probably need to give your garden a bit of a water. So I think I'm going to put them in a very interesting spot. This garden bed here is also towards the front of our property. It has so many weeds that also need to be pulled out, but there's a spot in our garden that my husband and I have nicknamed Death Hill, purely because everything we've planted there has died pretty well. It's on a slope, so it hasn't got great, water retention, and the ground, the dirt just sucks, basically. We are naturally in a limestone area here, and the soil is not great for growing much. So that's one of my things. I'm trying to slowly work on my soil. But this area has had nothing done to it. So it doesn't have much water, and it has pretty crappy soil. But it is close to a hose. So I'm thinking, and it's somewhere I see every day. So I'm hoping if I stick these plants up here, I might actually remember to water them, and hopefully we can get them to grow. We'll see. If they do grow, they might form sort of a bit of a hedge, which would be quite good, because this is on our boundary. So we'll give it a go. The other 2, not really sure where I'm going to put them yet. I've just done a bit of clearing still got a lot more to do. And I have cut back some, just found another salvia that I need to cut back. Some of the same salvia that I have on the other side. I'm going to leave it on this side, see what it does. It's not doing any harm. So I've got 3 of those plants. I think I'm just going to do 2 at the back, 1 a bit more forward, and we'll see what happens. I did bring up some potting mix so that I can put some of that in the holes and see if I can give them just a little bit of a helping hand, and then we'll try and remember to water them. Okay, that's the second one in. So I've tried to plant them in a bit of a well so that when I do water them, the water can actually get down into the root system rather than just running off on the slope. So hopefully that'll really help. Okay, so it is quite a bit later, but I'm back to try and get a little bit more of this done. While I was feeding the baby, I was thinking about this lot of plants, and I thought that maybe I should actually take some of the ones that I put aside for the front and put them up here, because I don't think we're going to put them down the front now that I think about it. So these are the forest flame lily pillies here, and they get about 1 to 2 meters tall and about 1 meter wide, and they should actually grow together to make a nice screen. So I'm actually thinking of putting it along this section here. I've got 6 of them, so they should probably fill that section in nicely. And then maybe in this corner here, I might put the purple pea bushes that I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to go up there now and take out the salvias that are along the back, because again, they haven't done very well up there. So I'm going to take them out, and then I'm going to plant these. Okay, it's again later in the day. I'm back for another session of this. You can see my son playing on the mat in the background there. So we'll see how long he gives us. So I got all of those lily pillies planted. The thing I want to plant is the purple pea bushes. So I think I said earlier that they got to about 1 to 2 meters tall, and they developed little purple flowers. I think they actually get those in the winter, which would be quite nice if that's the case. So I've got 3 of those, and I'm going to put them next to these lily pillies, just framing this corner section of this bed. The pillies we planted is just along here, and then this is there. I'm thinking of putting the purple pea bushes. So at the moment we've got this tree here, which it's not amazing, but I think I'm going to leave it and just see. I think it's pretty old and has not really grown that big, but it's not doing any harm. And then along the edge we've got agapanthus. Again, they're fine. We also have quite a lot of weeds in this section. So what I'm going to do is firstly try and get these weeds out, and then we're probably going to plant the 3 purple pea bushes kind of like in an arch there, I think. And they can frame out behind this grevillea, which is quite a lovely one. definitely warmed up today. It's still winter, but it is getting to a top of 26 degrees today, and I think we probably are already there. So yeah, definitely feeling it a bit warm, but it's still lovely to be outside. We've got a perfectly blue sky day. So, yeah, really nice. Well, it's not a very fun discovery. Go and find where the base of this is and get it out. But it is, oh, I can't remember the name of it. It's a very common bush to have planted in this area because it just grows prolifically. And it does have nice flowers, I'll give it that. I'll put the name of what it is up on the screen because I can't remember. But it has horrible, horrible spikes. See if I can show you. See those spikes? Yeah. And I just don't really want it in my yard, so I would say this has been dropped in by a seed from a bird or something. So we'll see if we can get this out. Well, hopefully there's only one of those. Okay, so the 3 plants ended up there, and down here. So I ended up with a bit of more of a triangle than an arch like I was originally thinking. But hopefully it'll fill in this back space nicely and it'll then move into this sort of hedge of lily pillies that we have. Just down here watering the last of these nursery plants that are left. And I've just realised that there's one more purple pea bush that we missed. So apparently there was 4, not 3. But there's no more space up in that area that I've planted the other 3. So I guess we'll just have to plop it into a garden bed somewhere else on its own, and that's okay. So my son is coming up to his next nap and he needs me to go and play with him and then put him to sleep. So I am going to end this video here. I hope you've enjoyed seeing me plant a few plants, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye guys.